Hey guys, welcome to another video today. As promised, I'm doing my updated Big Brother Canada 11 rankings. The season ended on May 11th, so as promised, of course, because I did this like last year for Big Brother US season 24, I think it was. So I posted a preseason ranking, so like my rankings for the cast just based on their bios and stuff like that, like before the season started, just like excitement wise for all of them. And then I did another one like halfway through the season, like my current rankings, like how I feel towards every house guest at that moment. And then at the end of the season, like right after the finale, I do an updated ranking, so based on the entire season, like how I loved everybody, like how I felt about everybody the entire season and not just at one time. So, like I said, that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. So I posted on my blog earlier tonight. I was gonna film and upload this video later tonight, like before I went to bed, but I figured I'd do it right now and just get it done, and I could have the rest of the night just doing whatever. So, anyway, I'm just going to jump right into it. I posted a blog, like I said earlier tonight, it was like 4 hours ago or something. So, there were 16 house guests this season. I really liked, they were like the first 5 to 7 I actually really loved, and then numbers like 8 to 12 or 8 to 13 or something I just liked, not loved but liked. And then the last two I really did not like. So like I said, there are 16 house guests. The first, like, I don't know, 7 I loved, and then house guest number 8 to 14th I didn't love, but I liked. And then, like I said, the last two, no, I didn't like them at all. So obviously, like outside of the house, like there's inside the Big Brother house and like outside, like in the real world, are completely different things. So just because someone might seem like a complete douchebag on Big Brother does not mean they're like that in real life, because they're only being like that to win the game. Like, you could watch Big Brother and be like, oh, I don't like this guy, he's rude, he's an asshole. But he's only being like that, or she, doesn't matter. But they're only being like that just to get farther in the game and to win. Doesn't mean that they're like that, like outside of the house. Like Zach, this season. I didn't like him at all in the Big Brother house. But I mean, maybe someday if I meet him in person, he might end up being like one of the nicest people ever. Like, you don't know that. So, yeah. I'm just basing this off of like how I felt with them as a player in the game and not like personally. Because again, I've never met any of these people personally. So this is just, like I said, me basing my rankings off of how I liked them as a player in the Big Brother house. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the first person on my list, my top favorite of the entire season, I think she was my top favorite in my preseason rankings, and she remained my top favorite throughout the season. It was Shania. I loved her. Yeah. Also, I do these videos, like, and I do these rankings just so I can, like, compare them. So I can compare my preseason rankings, oh my goodness. What's the word? I can compare my preseason rankings. Yeah, I can compare my preseason rankings to my mid-season, like halfway through the season rankings, and then my current rankings. So, like, I do these just so I can compare the three. Number 2 is Renee. I remember my preseason rankings, she was, like, towards the bottom of the list. But, I don't know. I just loved her this season. Like, she was such a vibe, a mood. Like, I freaking loved her and the other girly pops. Yeah, anyways, number 3 is Kuzi. I freaking loved her. Again, she is such a badass. She's like I said, a queen. I adored Kuzi. So, number 4 is Jonathan. He won, I was going to say America's, but no, that's this summer. He won Canada's Favorite House Guest, which I was not mad about because I also love Jonathan. I didn't vote him for Canada's Favorite House Guest. I voted Shania for that, but I'm happy with Jonathan. I still love Jonathan. Obviously, every year if a newfie is on the show, I'm a newfie as well, so of course I root for the newfie. So obviously loved Jonathan. Number 5 is Hope. Again, a vibe, a mood, legend, icon. Love him. He was so entertaining all season long. Number 6 is Daniel. Also very entertaining. Loved him. He's hilarious. Number 7 is Claudia. Now I loved her. She may be number 7, but I still loved her. And like I said, the other 2 girly pops. But she's my least favorite girly pop because she's made some dumb decisions in the game. Especially her last decision in the finale when she chose to take Ty to final 2 instead of Daniel. I will forever think that might be the dumbest move ever. Bringing her showmates to final 2 when she knows that he was probably going to win, and he did. Like, seriously? Like, honestly, if she cut Ty instead of Daniel, like, of course, Ty won, like, 5 Power Veto competitions. Like, the majority of the POV competitions, Ty won. That's, like, I don't know, 10 or 11 POV comps, and he won, like, 5 of them. That's more than half of them, I think. So, I mean, I think that if Claudia cut Ty when she won the final HOH, like, she had the opportunity to cut him, and she didn't. I get it. It's her showman. She liked him, and she wanted to bring him to final 2. They had a final 2. But still, like, a player like that and a comp beast like Ty, I think that if she cut Ty instead of Daniel, she would have had a guaranteed win. Like, if I was in the jury and I was voting for a winner and she cut Ty, I would have voted for her just for that. Because that would have been a legendary freaking move, and she did not take it. So, honestly, Claudia messed up there. I feel like I said, if she hadn't cut Daniel, she probably would have won instead of Ty. So, but it is what it is. The game's over. Whatever. But, yeah, like I said, if I was on Big Brother, and I won that final HOH, like if I was in Claudia's position, I definitely would have cut Ty. The first opportunity I had, I would go after Ty and I would get him out. You know, he was a beast all season long. Why wouldn't you get him out? You could, like, again, she could have had a guaranteed win there if she cut him. So, and honestly, if you're on Big Brother, you should try to win as much as you can. Even if that means voting out your showmans because he's a comp beast. Again, that could have given her a guaranteed win. And like I said, if you're on Big Brother, you should go after, like, you should try to find ways to earn a guaranteed win at the end of the season. Even if, like I said, even if that means going after your showmans. But yeah, number 8 is Vanessa. Number 9 is John Michael. Number 10 is Santina. Number 11 is Dan. I loved Dan at the time, but where he was the first person in jury, I feel like if he stayed longer the game, this might not make any sense, but if he wasn't evicted and became the first member of the jury and he stayed in the game longer, I feel like I would have liked him a lot more and he would have been higher up on this list because he would have been on our TV screens more, if that makes sense. I don't know if this makes any sense, but yeah. I still love Dan, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Number 12 is Amal. I loved Amal preseason and during the season, but I feel like she didn't do much until she had to self-evict. Yeah, so yeah, that's her. Number 13 is Roberto, or Rob. Number 14 is Anika. Honestly, when I started this list, I thought she was going to be really higher up. instead of 14. I loved her. I really liked Anika. There was like the first couple episodes in to the season, like the first week of the season or something. I didn't like. She just wasn't for me. Like she said something that kind of, I would say, turned me against her, I guess. But as the season went by and the longer she stayed in the house, I liked her a lot more after. So yeah, like I said, when I started this blog, because again, I always, when I'm, certain videos I film, sometimes I make blogs of, like, beforehand. So obviously I did the blog first and now I'm doing the video. But yeah, when I started this blog tonight, I thought Anika was going to be higher up, but then obviously as I went through each house guest, I was like, okay, maybe not. Because obviously I love, like, every house guest that I put on this list before her, I loved more than her, obviously. So I still like her, but obviously not my favorite. And then the final two. They were good players, I have to say, but honestly for me, way too cocky. They were too sure of themselves. Mostly the last one, which I will get into in a second. If you know, you know. 15 is Ty. Again, pretty cocky, and I don't like people that are too cocky or overly confident, and I feel like Ty is like that. I mean, in the house anyway. Like I said, like, he could be completely different outside of the house. I mean, in his preseason bio, he says he's, like, I don't know if it was him or his family that said he's really sweet, but, and he seems like a really nice guy. When I watched the preseason bio, like, I loved him. Like, he seemed super sweet. But then as the season went by and he started, like, joining forces, I guess, with Zach, and Zach self-evicted, and then Ty was going to self-evict with him, like, honestly, because of Zach, Ty might not have won if it weren't for Zach. Because, like I said, Ty was considering self-evicting with Zach, but he didn't. So, I mean, Zach literally wanted to self-evict with him. So, honestly, Zach could have messed up his chances at winning. Yeah, Ty won the season, which is great for him. But, honestly, if he ended up self-evicting with Zach, like Zach asked him to do, I mean, Zach wasn't forcing him to self-evict. Like, he was like, it's your choice. Do whatever you want. But if Ty didn't even if Ty walked out with Zach, we could have had a completely different turnout and result from this season. So honestly, it's crazy to think how one move changed everything. One slight second of an episode changed everything. So, like, at the end of one episode this season, like, Ty was considering self-evicting with Zach, but after we found out that he didn't self-evict. So that there, like, just something that small changed everything. To think that we could have had a different winner, insane. But obviously, lastly is Zach. I'm not even going to get too much into him, because if I do, I'm going to rant for, like, the next, like, hour or something. And, yeah, anyway, Zach is just probably, like, it's one thing to be confident. It's great that you're confident, but saying that, like, being cocky and, like, for me, he's a bit overly confident. Because if you guys saw on his Twitter and stuff like that, like, he was praising himself and Ty up, pretty much. And it's just not, he was just not for me. Again, in person, like, outside of the house, he could be really nice, but yeah. When I looked at his Instagram and Twitter bios, and it said something, I can't remember if it was, like, in both of his bios on Instagram and Twitter or just one of them, but one of his bios, again, can't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter or both, it said he was the greatest player to ever walk out of Big Brother Canada. Okay. I mean, he was a good player, I'll give him that. But he probably, for me anyway, in my opinion, what was probably the most cockiest player, an overly confident player in Big Brother Canada history for me. This is just my opinion. some people might think differently, but for me, like I said, it's one thing to be confident. If you're confident, that's great. Awesome, but like I'm pretty confident too, but I'm not overly confident that I'll be like, "Oh, I'm the best player to walk out of Big Brother Canada." Like I would never say that about myself if I walked out. I wouldn't praise myself up and hype myself up giving like saying like, "Oh, I'm the greatest player ever." Like no. If I was on Big Brother, like I would never say that. I no. Just no. Yeah, like I said, I'm confident, but I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm better than this person. I'm better at this than whatever." I'm not like that. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Those are my rankings for the entire season. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye, guys.